बिग फोर में इंटर्नशिप या जॉब चाहिए तो अपने रिज्यूमे और स्किल्स पे बहुत वर्क करना पड़ता है यार। आई एम श्योर अब सभी लोग अपने सीनियर्स और टीचर्स से ये बात जरूर सुनते होंगे, जो कि बिल्कुल सच है। पर अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ कि डिलॉयट जैसी कंपनी में जाने के लिए यू जस्ट हैव टू विन अ कंपटीशन, तो क्या आप मुझ पे यकीन करोगे? नहीं ना। इसलिए आज इस बात को प्रूव करने के लिए वी हैव समवन विद अस। प्लीज वेलकम आवर टुडेज गेस्ट लेहान एंड वारुन, who are currently studying in Loyola College, चेन्नई, जो कि Deloitte Graduate School Maverick 2021 को जीत कर पूरे 1 लाख रुपए का चेक अपने घर लेकर आए हैं। So without wasting any time, let's get started. Hi Lehan, hi Varun, how are you? Glad to have you on the Growth Show. Before starting and going ahead, I want you to start with your introduction. So Lehan, please go ahead.
Yes, so hi Aditi and hello everyone. My name is Lehan Jain. So right now I'm pursuing my final year of UG from Loyola College here in Chennai. So I was yes born and brought up in Chennai, and right now I'm doing my BCom. Yeah, so that was about me. Over to you, Varun.
Yeah, my name is Varun and I'm Lehan's classmate. Super stoked to meet you all.
Wow, so I think both are from BCom. A lot of people complain to us, you always produce videos for people who are from tech background. And like BCom is a very general degree, very like a lot of people does. This episode is basically for BCom students who really wants to excel in their career. You both have taken a part in Deloitte GCM competition and you won it. So could you please tell us about Deloitte, your Deloitte competition, like what exactly it is?
Yeah, so basically it is called Deloitte GSM. GSM basically stands for Graduate School Maverick. So it is a competition that basically happens in the penultimate year of your UG, which basically means when you are in the second year of your undergraduate. And it is a multiple round competition where premier business school across the country participate. So when I say premier business schools, it includes Shriram College of Commerce, Christ Universities, and Loyola College, and various other top colleges from the country. So as and when the competition progresses through the next round, it eventually gets intense, and also along with this competition there are a lot of prizes associated with it, which I will be including, which I'll be saying it at the end of the podcast.
Wow, I think prize money is the most exciting part of every student, but I don't think so. Like, what excited you? Prize money or the competition, like how the competition was structured? So I think coming to the competition structure thing only, let's go ahead with the how competitions are structured. Like I've heard there are 4 stages. Initially, you have an online test, and then you go and physically present your cases. So, Lehan and Varun, please go through us the entire process.
Yeah, so as I said, it's a multiple round competition, and right now, as we are in the college, yes, prize money is definitely that attracts us to some extent, but it was more about the opportunity, because as we were just coming and recovering back from COVID, and we had no opportunities during that time period, and Deloitte GSM, it just popped out for us. So talking more about the competition structure, it basically starts with an assessment round, and then from that, if you clear that, you're put into teams, and then it goes on to top 64 teams. If you perform well in that, it eventually goes on to the top 10, and then eventually you go and present your case in the finale. However, this was a structure for us. But this time in the competition, the structure might vary.
So in your first round and MC, first round, like how the first round was totally structured, like what kind of questions were asked?
Yes, so talking more about the assessment round, it basically includes quantitative aptitude, English grammar, logical reasoning, and little bit of accounts. So if you're a student who's preparing for CAT or GMAT, you might find the pattern of this exam similar to what you are preparing for the competitive exams. But a normal student might be comfortable with taking a test like that. So this was about the assessment round. So this is the first round of the competition.
It is more like the regular AMCAT tests that we have. Basically, two parts: the quantitative and verbal parts. The questions are pretty straightforward, but then the time is the crunch, so you need to be fast with it.
So what's the time duration, and how many questions are there, and what was the time limit?
Honestly, we don't remember. It was too far because it has been more than a year. But I guess it was about 40 minutes to 1 hour was the duration, I guess, for the test.
Talking about the duration, it's not a very long test. It is somewhere within 90 minutes. And there are four sections. Each section will have like approximately 15 to 20 questions, not more than that.
So around, if I'll say, even if there are 20 questions and if there are 4 sections and 80 questions around,
Yes.
so 1.5 minute for every question you are getting.
Yes.
Oh wow! I mean, if you are solving quantitative type of question, then it becomes quite challenging to solve in that 1.5 minute. I mean,
And
verbal English grammar is quite easy and it can be done very faster, but in quantitative it takes a lot of time.
but the issue is the sections. No, they have allocated times. Once you finish this section, it doesn't matter if you finish it fast. Your time will not be carried over to the next section. So for some of the quantitative sections like logical reasoning and all, you even if you're not able to finish all the 10 questions or whatever, how much ever is given, you just click random answers because it's there's no negative marking. Make sure that you have to attend all the questions.
Okay, wow. No negative marking. That's a good point. So now you qualified. So initially you said there were like 64 students around
64
in an
teams.
assessment test. So sorry, 64 teams. Huh?
Uh,
My bad. And then after, so how many team was qualified after stage one
uh,
and stage two?
So actually, there were over 120 teams or something. The stage one, with checkpoint 1 and 2, which Lehan will explain now. After that, we got selected to 64.
Basically, I think last year there were 4,500 plus registrations. So what happens? All of these people, they give their assessment round. So from these 4,500 people, it's narrowed down to 600 students after the assessment round. Now, from this 600 students, so from our college, 24 students were selected after the assessment round.
24 students or 24 team? Okay, 24
24
students.
students were selected. So now we were put into 6 teams of 4 members each. Okay, so every college, from every college, there would be like 16 to 20 students selected, and then we are required to make teams. Now, for the basis for the formation of teams is mostly many colleges give the students the own liberty to make teams, but in our college, the placement cell had decided and they made teams by themselves, and we were allocated to it. Before forming the teams, none of the 4 members knew each other. Only after the teams were formed, we all got to know each other because or else before that we all of us were strangers to each other. So now there were around 120 to 140 teams in the competition, and this is where the actual competition starts. So now this is the round one where you will have 2 checkpoints. So during these 2 checkpoints, there are 2 mentors who are assigned from the Deloitte offices of India, and basically these mentors are the people who are actually working in Deloitte right now. So the responsibility of these mentors is to basically guide you through the competition, because since this is the first round of the competition and we are not aware of how this competition is eventually going to progress. So during this, these 2 checkpoints happen like in a duration of 12 to 15 days. So if a checkpoint one happens today, your second checkpoint would be after 10 to 12 days. So I'll tell you what happens during these checkpoints. So during checkpoint one, you will be given a case study. Like for example, our case study was hybrid model. Okay, so we were given this case study, so we had a lot of questions now, how to progress, how to structure our presentation, and this is where these mentors come and help in. They pitch in their ideas, they suggest some kind of solutions, and basically it's an interactive session, and they guide us on how to proceed. So now when you come to your second checkpoint, you need to have your presentations ready. So you have to do a mock presentation with these mentors. Now, after you are done with this mock presentation, these mentors will identify the flaws from your presentation and they will suggest you tips for improvement. And on the basis of all the feedback you get from that, you need to refine your presentation. So after checkpoint two is done, you are supposed to make an actual presentation in front of a panelist of 3 to 4 members. So once you're done with that, you will be shortlisted based on your performance in that round. So this is basically what happens in the first round.
This is a first round.
Yeah.
So after selecting, then there is a first round.
Yes. From this first round, top 64 teams are selected in the next round. And just to share a few presentation tips that we did during the first round of a presentation was, so we got, our topic was, as I said, hybrid model. So hybrid model basically means work from home and work from office. So we were required to make a solution that could facilitate work from home and work from office. So what our basic mindset was is, during this time, the most important thing is to take care of your employees. So we made an acronym out of the word care as a part of our solution. So every alphabet of the word care had a different meaning in it. For example, C stood for culture, A stood for assistance, R stood for retention, and E stood for enduring. So, these are the small things that you can do and include in your presentation to make it attractive. But at the same time, it should be meaningful and reasonable, and it should also align with your topic. So, this was one of the things that we used. And one more thing is that we used a software called Canva, which I think most of the college students would be familiar with. Now, the great thing about this platform is, as college students, we get our college email IDs. And if you use your college email IDs, you get the entire Canva platform for free. And more tips and more tricks in Canva would be covered by Varun when he comes and gives his explanation. Yeah. So over to you.
Yeah. So how this works is like what Lehan explained, the checkpoint 1, checkpoint 2, those things happen over weeks. Actually, the gap between each checkpoint is over 1.5 weeks. The initial checkpoint was 3 weeks away from the time they gave us the case. So that was a cycle. That was round 1, where you get 2 checkpoints and 1 final presentation. We had to repeat that cycle 2 more times. Like they keep selecting us through that. So the round of 64 was the same thing. We had another checkpoint 1, checkpoint 2, like that. And then similar to that, round of 20 was also similar. So what they do is, the gap between the checkpoint 1 and 2, they keep reducing it. They keep making us solve cases faster and faster. So that's how they see how our quality varies over time. So we proceeded over to the round 2 and then round 3, and finally we were into the finals, where 10 teams were selected from all over India, and we had to travel to the Deloitte USA campus, which is there in Hyderabad, which is a wonderful place to be in. It's amazing. So from here the finals began. So initially we were greeted. We had time to socialize with each other, and we saw how our competitors were, the Delhi students, the Bangalore students. It was amazing. And we also had a chance to interact with the top executives of Deloitte. So it was, first day was like that. And then in the second day, they gave us the case. So far we have seen how we had weeks and weeks to solve a case. Now we had to do it in one day. We had one night to prepare our case, our presentation, and we had to present it tomorrow. So that was the first round of the finals, wherein our case, I don't remember the topic exactly, but then that the first round we have prepared a presentation, and the next day we had to present it to a panel in secrecy, as in we were not allowed to see what other teams were doing. So this was a private round. So once that was done, top 10 becomes top 5. The top 5 is are the teams which will actually go to the stage and who will be presenting in front of Chris Patton and all the Deloitte heads who travel across the globe and come there. So as far as tips and tricks regarding the finals goes, see, these people are all the top heads who go around visiting various countries and judging various competitions. So more than a new idea, you need to have a new presentation. The idea is you can come up with a very creative idea as one thing, but you have to present it in a corporate fashion, which is basically simple, elegant, and easy to remember. That's how you present your finals. That is one thing which I wanted to say. And other thing was, for the top 5 round, we had a total of 1 hour to solve the case and present it. 1 hour or 2 hours was it?
It was 45 minutes to be precise.
Yeah, so it was very limited time. So one smart thing that we did, which I don't think the other 4 teams did, was we recycled our PPT. We used the same PPT from our round 1, the checkpoint 1, and we just so we didn't have to spend our time animating it, making it look better. We just put our solution in the same PPT. That's one thing which we did. And as they say, a bold attempt is half success. So you just get on the stage, be confident with yourself, and face the questions, and you will be fine.
What was your topic when you took a case study? Like you said, hybrid wala one. Could you elaborate in all, as in you talked about how we presented and everything, but what exactly the extra, the content, what main point you touched that made ki you are the winner of the competition?
Yeah, so first I'll explain how these cases work. So when we generally expect a case study, we expect paragraphs and paragraphs of long data and statistics, and we have to derive a complex solution. No, that's not how Deloitte's case studies are. They are just 3 to 4 lines. They are short, they are crisp, and they expect a solution. So in the round 1, it was develop a hybrid working model. Because we were all recovering from COVID-19, the pandemic, so the offices needed new ideas. They were shifting to the hybrid system, and there were rumors running around that this might be better, like as the convention from now. So our goal was to develop a hybrid system which works for eternity, which is like the new norm. That's how that's what they expect from you in a case study. So in our finals, our case study was about sustainability, whereas like our solution was in fact not very different from the solutions from the other 2 or 3 teams had in the finals. However, the way we presented it, as again I said, so what we did was we used acronyms, and then like when we got on the stage, like we did not go like we fortunately had the chance of presenting last in the order, like how they place you. So we did not go out and say good morning and warm welcome to one and all present here. We started with like, so you guys saved the best for the last. So you go out with confidence. And then one unique thing that we did was our presentation was not too serious and monotonous. We cracked some jokes. We made it jovial. And it was short. The most important thing is it was short. It was not like even if they give you 10 minutes, prepare a presentation which like is enough for 8 to 9 minutes. Like that's how you go about it, because being crisp is being better basically.
Just give a point-to-point information. So you are saying that what made you one was the way you presented.
We understand that we are making a presentation in the corporate, but it's important to show them that we are still college students, right? So it's important to bring in a fun element. All the other different teams are gonna come and they are gonna make serious pitches, but you just have to light up the mood a little bit. So for that, what we did is there were 2 rounds in the finale. So in round one, what we did is we made a skit. So it was basically a role play. All the 4 members interacted with each other. So basically, the round one topic was something which was related to corporate hegemony. So basically, all the politics that happens in a corporate world and everything related to that. So we made a role play out of it. One of our team members portrayed a role of an employee who is working for in an organization for 20 years, and he was frustrated. He wanted some solutions, and we were giving him those solutions that were required. So that it was creative. None of the 9 teams did something like that. None of the 9 teams did a role play in the finale, and no one expected us to do a role play. So these are the small things that you can do to make your presentations attractive instead of just looking at the screen and presenting something. Also, it's not always important to present what is there on the screen. If at that point, if you feel like okay, something is better, I can improve my explanation, I can bring in some new ideas at that point, then I think you should do that. And also, as Varun mentioned, that the leaders who were in the judging panel during the finale, they are not normal people. One thing that we were told were that the schedule of all these panelists was so hectic, it was so difficult to bring all of them at one place on one day. So that is how prestigious this competition gets when you get to the finale. And all of them are senior leaders who work across the globe in different offices of Deloitte, not just India.
So as I already said, your winning strategy was how you presented it. It's in short, if I can say, you know how to sell it.
Exactly.
That's most important, because people don't expect usually, like in corporate, people don't expect. And when you do something unexpected in a corporate like structure, you go with a skit. It's like it's delightful. Skit is humorous. It makes a mood light. So I strongly suggest to our audience, if you are going to participate in any competition, anything, try to bring some other element. Don't try to be monotonous, because I think there's one saying, let's say people used to make a very simple resume at one point of time, and let's say there are a lot of resumes that are very typical text heavy that is written. But if someone has made a resume in very unique or fun style, let's say an engineer that is applying for a normal engineer role, but is maybe, let's say his resume is kind of like colorful, or let's say uniquely presented with good graphics and all, then obviously that CV will get into notice, and that's what matters. How you present yourself unique. Now coming to the last thing, I think you have your Q&A round also, because every competitions have this. So would you like to take us through your Q&A round?
So after every case study, right from the first round, they'll ask you questions about your case study. One very important question that they ask every time is, what are the problems that your solution might face? We always develop a solution, but we don't think what are the issues that our solution might face while implementing in reality. So that is one thing which they questioned in the finals. They hid it till the finals, and that was the banger question which was asked for all the teams. and honestly, we had no answer for that. So, like our what they asked to us was, what are the threats that your solution might face? So, like what we said was, we just had to come up with very random things. Like our team's name was Blitzkrieg. So we at Team Blitzkrieg, we do not believe in threats. We believe that each threat is a stepping stone and an opportunity. And you have to even if you don't know the answer, you have to be prepared to tackle the questions. So that's one thing. So GSM overall is more of a presentation competition rather than a case study competition.
Yeah, so however, there are variations in the prize money every year. For us, the winning team got 1 lakh rupees, and that was not it. We also got various prizes and goodies from Deloitte, and the runner-up team got 75,000, and the second runner-up team got 50,000 rupees.
Oh, wow, perfect. And I think there's a pre-placement interview and internship offer also comes to you.
Yes, exactly. So this competition just does not stop with you making presentation rounds and you winning the competition. You get, on the basis of your performance, you get an internship at Deloitte, and on the basis of your internship at Deloitte, you might even get a pre-placement offer. So what that means is you don't have to sit for college placements, as you will already received a pre-placement offer from Deloitte, and you can join the company if it suits your interest.
Yeah, and one thing to keep in mind is this internship is offered to us on a personal judgment basis. It's not on a team. Not everyone in a team will get in. And even people from teams who have been disqualified have a chance to get in. So your individual performance is also being judged right from round one. Your spirit, your mentality.
So, in short, if anyone is thinking of taking a part, please go ahead with it because not necessary. Like even if you didn't win the competition, you still have a chance to get an amazing exposure because you will be directly in touch with people from Deloitte company, and I think even that's an achievement. Even getting in touch with them, talking to them, it's a good experience that each and everyone should have because I can't tell you how important it is to have a corporate experience. Even if whenever we hire at a grow, we also see like even if that person is a fresher, does he is he have done good internship? If he has done it, I mean, we there's a higher chance that we will select him. So that's how it functions. So yeah, thank you so much. Any final thoughts, Lehan, Varun? Go ahead. Yeah, last thoughts.
Yeah, so about this competition, I think you should not have, if you are a second year UG student and if you are from the commerce background, I think you should not have second thoughts about participating in this competition because it can really, be a proper pathway for you for your corporate journey to start somewhere. And you would just be in your second year, but you would already be in a part of a national level competition. And if you perform well, you will have a placement in your hand before you even come out of the college. So this is a competition that you should really look forward to. So all the best to everyone. And yeah, that's it from our side.
Swing it. It's not that difficult. Just make sure that you present properly, and the cases themselves are not very difficult, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Lehan and Varun, for your time. एक बात तो माननी पड़ेगी. The exposure and learning you get from these competitions are far more valuable in life than the prize money itself. I'm sure आप सभी को इस podcast से बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला होगा. And I really wish कि इन competitions में problem solving की practice करते करते आप अपनी life के भी सारे problems गायब कर पाओ. We will definitely keep you updated with all such upcoming events. Because we care for you and your future endeavor. अच्छा लगा तो share it with your friends और अगर नए हो तो Grow Plus को सब्सक्राइब करना मत भूलना. Until then, bye bye, take care.